Hello students. Today we will discuss the topic is electric field due to a point charge. We will continue with the topic electric field. Electric field due to a point charge. A single point charge has the simplest electric field. We have discussed this thing that every charged particle has a field around itself in which another charge can experience a force, and so that field is known as electric field. So as shown in the figure, consider a point charge small q placed at the origin O. Here we have considered a point charge which is placed at origin, this q charge, and we wish to determine its electric field at point P, and we want to determine its electric field at point P, as you can see in the diagram, at a distance r from it, and this point P is at a distance r from this point P. For this, what we will do, we will imagine a test charge. Here at point Q we have placed a test charge. Test charge is basically a very small charge. This test charge will not exert a force on this source charge because, as its name suggests, this test charge is basically a charge we take just for experimenting, and this charge is very small. So due to this charge, electric field intensity will not be there at this source charge. So for this, we are imagining a test charge q naught which we have placed at point P, and according to the Coulomb's law, we have discussed Coulomb's law. According to the Coulomb's law, the force on charge q naught, the force on this charge q naught will be F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q into q naught upon r square, and this r unit vector. This r is, here we have used unit vector. This r is unit vector. So this is the force from the Coulomb's law, where r is a unit vector in the direction from q to q naught. This r is the unit vector from q to q naught. So electric field at point P. Now we want to find electric field at this point. So electric field at point P is, and we have studied this formula also, E is equal to F upon Q naught, means if we want to find the electric field intensity at any point from the source charge, so we can take the force on that point due to that source charge, and we can divide that force with the test charge which is placed at that point. So this thing we have studied. So we will divide the force which we have obtained from the Coulomb's law by the test charge, that is q naught. So this q naught will be cancelled out. Here we are having, in the force we are having q naught, and in the denominator also, here you can see in the force we are having q naught, and here also we are having q naught. So this q naught will be cancelled out. The q naught which is in the formula of the force, q naught will be cancelled out with this q naught, and we will get as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square, and this r unit vector. So in terms of magnitude, the electric field intensity, yes students, this E is the electric field intensity. This will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. This is the formula. This is electric field intensity at a point P due to a source charge which we have taken a point charge at a distance r from it. This is the final result, and from this result we can see that here electric field intensity is inversely proportional to r square. It is written E is inversely proportional to r square. This means that at all the points on the spherical surface drawn around the point charge, means if we draw any point around the spherical surface of the point charge, then the magnitude of the electric field is same and does not depend upon the direction of r. Means, if in this diagram, if I place a electric field, if I place a test charge here also, that is q naught, or if I place a test charge q naught, this test charge we consider it as a positive charge. So and we have taken this source charge as a positive charge, and the electric field due to a positive charge is radially outwards. We have discussed this thing. So he's saying that this q naught, whether this q naught is placed here, the direction of the electric field will be radially outwards from it. As you can see here also, the direction of the force, is also, and like this is the direction of the force, and the direction of electric field depends on the direction of the force. So such a field is called spherically symmetric or radial field. That is a field which looks the same in all the directions. A field which looks same in all the directions when seen from the point charge. Remember, we have taken a point charge, that is we are saying source charge. So that field is known as spherically symmetric, or you can say radial field. So our next topic is electric field due to a system of point charges. Now we discussed electric field due to a point charge, and the next topic is electric field due to a system of point charges. Means, electric field due to system of point charges, we are having so many point charges, and we will discuss the electric field due to this point charge. Consider a system of n point charges. In this we are having n point charges, that is q1, q2 up to qn, having position vectors r1, r2 up to so on rn with respect to the origin O. You can understand from the diagram. Here we have taken point charges q1, q2. Here only two charges are shown, and this is the q naught, that is test charge, and this r1 is the position vector of q1, and this r2 is the position vector of charge q2, and we have to find the electric field intensity at point P, and at this point we have placed a test charge due to these number of charges q1 and q2 at this point P. So we wish to determine the electric field at point P. We have to find the electric field at point P, and whose position vector is R. Its position vector is R, and according to the Coulomb's law, the force on the test charge, here also we will apply Coulomb's law. According to the Coulomb's law, the force on this test charge, which is placed at P point due to charge Q1, Coulomb's law, the force on this test charge due to this q1 charge will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 into q naught upon r square r1p and r1p unit vector, where this r1p is the unit vector in the direction of q1 to p, and r1p is the distance between q1 and p. I told you this r1p is the distance between the charge q1 and the point P, and r1p unit vector is the direction, is showing the direction from q1 to P. So electric field at point P, we have calculated the force on point P on q0 charge due to q1 charge. Now electric field, we know the formula, force divided by test charge q0. So F1 upon q0, here q0, again q0 will be cancelled out by q0, and we will get electric field as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 upon r square 1p and r unit vector r1p. We will get this. Similarly, we can get the electric field at point P due to a charge Q naught, which we have seen in the diagram. We are having two charges here, Q1 and Q2. So similarly, electric field at point P due to charge Q2 on charge Q naught will be E2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 upon R square 2P, and R2P is the unit vector. So according to the principle of superposition of electric fields, the electric field at any point due to a group of charges, the superposition of electric field says the electric field at any point due to a group of charges is equal to the vector sum of the electric fields produced by each charge individually. So electric field at that point will be equal to the vector sum of the electric fields produced by each charge individually at that point when all the charges are assumed to be absent. So this is the principle of superposition of electric fields. Remember, we have studied superposition of forces in the last classes. It is similar to that only. So hence the electric field at point P due to a system of n charges, due to the system of n charges, electric field will be equal to E is equal to E1 plus E2 up to so on En. So we will put the value of E1 and E2. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will become common. Then Q1 upon R square 1p and unit vector R1p. Then R2 Q2 upon R square 2p R unit vector 2p, like this. So we can write the expression as E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation. We are familiar with this summation, and I is equal to 1 to capital N Qi upon R square IP, and R IP is the unit vector we have used. So this is the answer. We can understand from this diagram also. Here this diagram shows at point P we are having so many forces, and the resultant is this. This is the resultant which is shown. This is the resultant, that is E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. At P point, all the forces are acting E1, E2, E3, E4. Electric field at a point due to system of charges is the vector sum of the electric fields at the point due to individual charges. In terms of position vector also, we can write it as E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation I is equal to 1 to n Q1 upon R minus R1 whole square. We have written in the vector form R minus Ri whole square, and this is the expanded form of unit vector. We know that unit vector is the vector divided by its magnitude. So this is the vector R minus R naught, Ri sorry, and we have divided it with the its magnitude. So this is the in the form of, in terms of position vector, electric field intensity due to a number of charges, or you can say in a system of n charges. The final result will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation I1 to n Qi upon R minus Ri whole cube. This will become whole cube because this power 2 is there and here we are having power 1. So base same power add, and this R minus Ri, this is the final result. Here are a few examples also, so you can try these examples.